Before we get started, we're just going to wait for a few people to jump on, and then we will begin with the introductions. Yeah. Yeah. How many people do we have? Okay, cool.
Nice. Let's get started. Good, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. We are handing battle of the scanners today. So it will be between Matterport and Faro. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. My name is Peter Werther. I'm a Faro technical specialist. I started working at Modena in 2017 as a scanning technician, and I've been doing a lot of projects in different types of environments, and some of those samples will be taught later on in the presentation.
Morning, everyone. I'm Nick King. I handle the Matterport sales and services. I've also been with Modena for about 5 or 6 years now. And I also work fairly closely with Peter. Between the two of us, we tend to have Battle of the Scans quite often. So hence you'll see the theme of our presentation. We hope you enjoy it. Feel free to ask questions at the end, and there will also be a poll at the end for you to see which scanner or how can I say solution would be the best for you.
Correct, yeah. So on the Faro side of the battle of scanners, we are presented by Optimus Prime from the Transformers, and then on the Matterport side,
You'll be seeing Bumblebee because he's the tilt funnel.
all right. So for tonight's main event, the two powerful scanners, we have two different personalities and one common goal. From the Faro side, Optimus Prime, we have a powerful scanner, which is also very precise. We can also get very technical with it, and it's built for demanding missions.
100%. And this is where Bumblebee, he's fast, agile, approachable, and built for immersive digital experiences. And he sort of, the commander is there, and he is sort of like Optimus Prime's right-hand man when needed. Just making him sound bigger.
All right, so round one, meet Optimus Prime, the precision commander. So Faro's personality, or the focus personality, would be powerful and dependable. So working in a lot of different environments and scanning in different ranges as well, with highly precise and detailed point clouds that can be provided at the end. We also have workflows for professional engineering environments, and it's built for serious missions. So when accuracy matters, we call the commander. So Optimus Prime's technical arsenal are some of its other superpowers: precision, detailed measurements based on the precision of it, very highly dense point clouds. We can get a lot of details in that point cloud as well, tying connections, flanges, and so forth. We have the technical, it's very good in the technical side of the reality capture, and we also have professional workflows set out for different environments as well. So this scanner would be best suited for engineering, surveying, construction, manufacturing, and industrial documentation.
Yes, Bumblebee's personality, and I know I'm repeating this more, it's because he just is. He's fast and he's agile, he's approachable and versatile, easy to share, how can I say, easy to share his workflows with, and as well as sharing with clients and colleagues as well. And he's also built for immersive digital twins, very similarly to Faro, but where he really shines is his visual expertise. As we all know, when Bumblebee steps on the screen, everybody loves it, turns into a really cool race car. And this is where the Matterport also, it looks cool, and he is really awesome with his visual experience that he gives to clients.
Right. Getting Bumblebee.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, see, once again, he's taking the stage. So his key capabilities are his scanning is super fast, just like how he is on a track or in the cities. You can see he scans within 20 seconds. His accuracy is generally 20 millimeters per 10 meters. However, when we do scan with a Matterport, we generally have the scanner 3 to 4 meters apart from what it needs to scan, as well as per scanning range. With that, it brings the millimeter accuracy down to at least 5 millimeters. Um, and then you'll see it can do up to 100 meters that you can collect data from, which you can use for collect point cloud data from for modeling. But once again, closer scanning, better density. Its main thing is also, once again, with it being easy and fast to use, its 3D data registration is super fast. Once the scanning is done, you bring it home, upload to Wi-Fi, click upload, and within a few hours, you have your scan. Zero registration work needed. Pretty impressive, yeah. That's why people like it. Once again, he falls perfectly within having to create digital twins. Under facility management, he's great. For remote collaborations, he's great. Visual walkthroughs, once again, fantastic. And visual communication, there's awesome tools where that's concerned, but we will dive into that a little bit deeper later on.
Awesome. And I see you got on the Matterport side, you got a 134.2 megapixel camera output, right?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't want to mention it because I know what's coming up.
On the Faro side, however, on the Focus, we get 266 megapixel 360 photograph. But I would say the biggest differences between the two would be that Matterport's colorization in the photographs are much better and more vibrant than the ones on the Faro side. Where Faro is more focused on getting accuracy and detail, Matterport is best for the visualization part of it.
Yeah. And that's why Bumblebee stands out in yellow and looks cool because it's more visual.
So round 3 is precision. So who will win in this round is, I would say, Focus, the Faro Focus.
Fair enough.
So as you see on the screen, we got a 1 millimeter accuracy on the scanner itself. That would be at the range that the scanner can scan at. We do have 3 different range models for that accuracy, and that is 100 meter, if I recall. Then we have the Faro Premium, which does 200 meters distance, and then the Premium Max that does a 400 meter distance range scan, still within that 1 millimeter accuracy. Now, I do want to mention that we have done scans before where we had to do some reverse engineering. So we used spherical targets on site with scanning this piece of equipment, and we did get the accuracy down to a minimum of 0.7 millimeters. So it is possible to get that accuracy down a little bit, more than 1 millimeter, but 0.7 I found would have been the minimum, or the minimum deviation that we could get on the scan itself.
I mean, Faro just likes to brag. I mean, 0.07, like Matterport, Bumblebee, sorry, he just can't compete with that. Even though he uses LiDAR, he uses similar equipment, but yeah, you have to give it to the commander and the big boss when he does his job. And that's also why he gets sent in to kind of get the ball rolling.
At least all jobs are not required just for accuracy, and some of them are for visual purposes.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Yeah, otherwise,
in that space.
Bumblebee would be out of a job and out of movies.
All right, so round 4, we are looking at speed and simplicity. So there are, on the Faro Focus side, we have our speed of the previous models that we had. Just to give you a comparison, we had 11 million point scans with no photographs, which would give us about 1 minute 34 seconds a scan. With the new premium scanners, we got that down to 57 seconds a scan without any photographs. With the photographs on that specific setting, we're looking at 2.5 minutes with that includes then the 266 megapixel photograph.
And this is where Bumblebee can at least step in and say, I'm faster than you, because he can do 4 scans with his 134 megapixel in 30 seconds and around a swimming pool as well, using just a tablet and pushing a button.
Wow. So talking about the 30-second scan there on the Matterport side, if you look on the screen, there's a scanner with a little panogram at the top. And that provides, that feature is called flash scanning, where we can do 28-second scans with that, providing us with up to 50 million points per scan. So falling in the same range as the Matterport, and yes, we can also scan next to a full.
That's like, yeah, I think we need to change this because it's turning into whose is bigger.
Right, so round 5, digital experience. So with Faro side, we do have a couple of applications that we can use within the workflow. We don't always have to use the Faro applications. We can also use Autodesk Recap for the registration of the scan data, but that will then be a manual registration that will be done. So if we use or when we use the Faro Focus Scanner with the Stream application, that is the mobile application for your phone, that will allow you to do pre-registration on the site while you are doing the scanning. And then that data would then be brought over into Steam, and your scan locations will still be as it was when you scanned it on site. And you can just verify that registration. So you save a good couple of hours of work by using the Stream application instead of using the manual or the general automatic registration within the Scene software. From there on, we can then upload that to SphereXG, which is then the online platform for Faro, where we can share this information as well via a link to anyone who does not have a license for SphereXG, just to view and interact with that as well. So with stakeholders sitting overseas or in different states or provinces and so forth, this data can then easily be shared as well.
Yeah, once again, sounds impressive. I mean, how can Bumblebee compete against Optimus Prime? However, this is where Matterport and Bumblebee can also step in with using the Matterpack and the E57 for ease and simplicity. Once you've scanned a property and you need the point cloud data for modeling, it's as easy as literally clicking. I'm not going to say, I'm going to say it, I'm going to say it. Purchase Matterpack and purchase E57. Yeah, I got told I mustn't say it, but I'm saying it just so that everybody knows, let's do transparency, seeing that we're talking about my camera's bigger than yours. Let's be honest. So with the Matterpack, download it. It comes in one fixed point cloud data, and with the E57, it is loose data. So if needed, you can always add point cloud data from a Faro to a Matterport and combine the two.
So just to go on the Faro side on this, the data is all locally hosted on your machine, except for the SphereXG part. So all of that data is then yours on, locally, and you can share that without needing to do any additional payments for the download of that part.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah. All right. So round 6, the technical mission. So on the Faro Focus side, we got the precision. We got that for the engineering space. We can get detailed point clouds out of that. And we have long range capture. Like I mentioned, we can do our basic scanners range is 100 meters, but then we can do a 200-meter range and a 400-meter range. But that will just be mostly for when you need to capture the heights of the building. So if you've got a 150-meter tall building, a 200-meter scanner would be perfect in that space. And then if you have, for example, open pit mining and you need a bit more distance to be captured, then the 400-meter max would be perfect in that space as well.
So I just want to add here that Bumblebee is going to be humble with this. Matterport's going to be humble. We know that Optimus Prime Faro wins. However, Bumblebee can also, depending on the height of the building, it scans and processes beautifully within 12 meters in either direction. So you still get that clarity. And basically what you do, but on a much smaller scale, but not as intense. But once it's accessibility, the digital twin, the visual side of it, and the quick and easy remote collaboration does make it very cool. But Bumblebee will bow out in this because that is where, yeah, Optimus Prime is in his prime.
Right. So looking at the battle scorecard, what do we have here? We've got the technical precision. That is where Faro shines the most because we got our accuracy within 1 millimeter accuracy. We can get very high precision point clouds. to be provided for engineering new designs or aspects of the engineering space. Also, I wanted to just mention on that the technical precision is not dependent on your lighting conditions in the space that you're scanning at. So I have, for example, scanned underground in a newly blasted area in the mine itself, and there were no lights installed in that space. It was a complete dark space, and you simply just turn off the photographs and you scan it in black and white, and it will see everything in that space. It will see all of the deformations on the surfaces, and it will see paint marks, and because it uses an intensity on on the lidar itself, that will then provide you with a grayscale point cloud with as much detail as you would have seen if the lights were on.
That's actually pretty cool. Very impressive. Yeah. Yeah. With Matterport, 30 to 40% lighting. That's fantastic. But yeah, definitely going to bow out with this one because it is super impressive that the Faro can actually do that in the dark. Especially during load shedding. I think you need it a lot there.
Yeah, that definitely helped within that period of time that we had, yeah. For the load shedding, it's getting inside massive buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets dark in there.
Yeah. So enough of bragging. So let's go to the ease of use. Once again, yeah, Bumblebee Matterport is nice and easy to use. It weighs like 3 kilograms. Use the tripod, iPad, your phone, good to go. Scan 1, 2, 3, in and out.
What is that application called that you would use with Matterport?
That would be, I know it's a very technical name, but it's called the Matterport Capture app.
Capture app. Awesome.
Yeah, available on iOS and Android.
Right. And then with the Faro side, we have the Stream application, which is also available on Android and iOS. Like I said, that would help us to control the scanner on site and to get a visual of the area that we have scanned. So you can be sure that when you leave the site that you have captured all of the specific locations required to get all the angles captured in that space.
It's
I'm
pretty
sure the
cool.
same would happen with Matterport and as well.
100%. And that's, sorry, I'm like jumping in there because, yeah, Bumblebee can get excited sometimes. It's pretty cool in the sense that even with both Matterport and Faro, with the scan, it shows you where you have missed something. So if you've forgotten a room or there's a specific area that wasn't seen or something behind a wall, you can physically see on the device that you're using, oh, missed that. Just go back, quickly scan that because you do not want to have to go back like so many people have done to the side, like, oh, I forgot that wall, I forgot that room. So it really just helps you with, you got everything, pages fully done, sorted.
And also with the application that we can use with the scanners, you don't have to get extensive training on how to operate the scanners.
No.
Everything is basically presented to you on the application, and there are also tips and tricks, I believe, in the apps built in, so that it can help you through certain frequently asked questions that, yeah, so definitely assist with that part and make your job a lot easier on the side.
Also, jumping in with that, and before we move on to the point clouds, us at Modena, before anybody even takes Bumblebee or Optimus Prime out, we make sure that you know exactly how either of them operate, from the hardware to the software, so that's where the big ease of use comes in, that anybody who uses it from our side, we make sure that you are completely good to go, as well as if anything, so should you hit a bumpy road, we're there for support as well.
Yeah, 100%. So moving over to the point cloud side, the Faro Focus definitely wins in this category with the accuracy that we can scan at. And then also the density of the point cloud. We can get a quite dense point cloud out of this, with the points very close to each other, creating all the detail required for the specific needs of the project. And then we can also, we don't really have a limit on scale of what we can capture. There's just different workflows on how we can get a massive site geo-referenced, for an example, and then bring it in the sections. But we can certainly scan hundreds and thousands of square meters with a single Faro Focus scanner.
Once again, Pretty impressive. Yeah, we also we also sorry, I haven't had enough coffee. We can also Matterport and Bumblebee do quite a lot of scanning and generate quite a dense point cloud model, but nowhere as close once again as with Faro. But it can be done, and that is where once again you can use the Matterpack and the E57 to download what is required. But once again, it is something that architecture firms and some construction firms, if they need basic work, this is where Prime Bumblebee shines. But the rest of it, I would definitely say, yeah, Optimus Prime, it's all yours. And then with the digital twin experience and the virtual walkthrough, I'm going to combine them just a little bit because I think both of them, the digital twin experience or the virtual walkthrough, um, really, really is Bumblebee's field. He was originally created, Matterport, aka Bumblebee, before anybody gets too confused, for the visual aspects within the real estate industries, just to, advertise properties. But as people saw more and more potential with it, it then flowed into the insurance industry, travel and tourism, facilities management, because of the visual aspect of just being able to look at it on your phone, your iPad, it's crystal clear. And if you want a super immersive experience, just put VR goggles on and you are living and walking through the space that you're in. And that's definitely where it shines. And literally anybody who, even if you are not technically inclined, it's as simple as click a link and you have it in front of you.
So that link that you click, you can embed it into any website.
100%.
So especially
Yes.
for the real estate, right?
100%. Yeah.
So you can have a nice virtual walkthrough of the site without ever setting foot in there and even make decisions on purchasing that space.
Yeah. We've actually had, sorry to interrupt you there. We've actually had clients who, I know there was an agent up here in Joburg who bragged and couldn't wait to tell us that he had sold a property in Cape Town to a client in the UK. The guy hadn't even physically walked in. He saw the tour, loved what he saw, bought the place, and the first time he actually saw the home was when he got the keys.
Wow.
All because of Bumblebee Matterport doing its thing.
Experience like you were there.
100%.
And the virtual space as well. So Faro's side, we also have not as intense as Matterport's side with the virtual tours and digital twin experience. But with the virtual walkthroughs, the Faro scan data, the point cloud information can be also brought into the virtual reality space. So it is as easy as just having the Oculus or Quest goggles, having an application which is called Steam with a VR plugin, and your Faro Scene software as well. So Faro Scene's got a built-in VR button. You can just click that, and then you are immediately taken into the virtual space.
So do we.
Walking through the point cloud, so that one-to-one scale, where you can do your measurements and annotations as well, which I'm sure Matterport can do.
Yeah, there's just on the bottom right, there's a little,
virtual goggle button.
Yes.
Nice. So with the long range capture, this is unfortunately for Bumblebee where Optimus is better with his jetpacks. So you can scan at long ranges, like I mentioned, 100 meters, 200 meters, and 400-meter range scan. I have to say that the blink only goes up to about 80 meters, and we'll get to that one in a bit.
I just would say, what's a blink?
That's the next one. I was jumping in a little bit too fast there. But it does get you that quality and the detail at that range. There is a bit of a point distance between the loaded points when you measure or capture that distance. So we can always just adjust the resolution to account for that, the point distance at that range, to fill it in a bit more to get a bit more density in the point cloud at that range. So can Matterport do the same?
No, because Matterport doesn't have rockets and jetpacks on its back. We just turn into a super fast car. We do have our limitations though, because obviously driving in SA, you would be pulled over for driving too fast. but obviously they can't stop a jetpack. So yes, this is definitely where Faro would shine. Visual communication, I think we might be a little better because with communicating, for example, if you were at our Cape Town branch and I'm up here and we have the same scan, and if I want to say, hi Peter, there's a certain something on the wall here, it doesn't look good. Just literally put the info in the tag, pop you an email, it'll pop up on your phone or whatever you're using. You click that, it'll take you directly to that scan. You can then say, cool, let's make that a blue wall or let's change that. And I get the response immediately. So within a few minutes, you can actually change whatever you need to and communicate very nicely with each other. I know,
That is very impressive.
I know that you can do it as well, but this is where speed comes in. But okay, let's, rocket,
Right,
jet,
so
ships, everything else.
we got a similar side on the Faro, where we can actually use the Faro CXG online platform, and we can integrate that with your former RFIs, and we can create an RFI or an issue within the CXG platform, and it will bring that over to your project in forma. And then you can assign that to the correct department or the correct person to handle that issue.
Yeah. That is actually pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also falls in very well with, us being with Autodesk, former being the new ACC, good to go.
Yeah. All right. Then there's a bit of a twist, and I did spoil it a little bit earlier with mentioning the Blink. But there are more scanners to the Autobots family that we have. They don't have any personalities assigned.
Oh, wait. Oh, you spoiled it. I wanted to say, what do you call a group of scanners? A fleet.
A fleet. There you go. So there are our fleet of scanners. So you'll see on the left-hand side is the Faro Blink that I briefly mentioned earlier. That scanner was created to do speed on the scanning side. So it does do 28-second scans, the same as the flash scanning that the Focus can do with the Panocam. The image quality is just as great. The accuracy on it, though, is about 4 millimeters per scan. So it's very great within the architectural space and smaller engineering spaces, where the Faro Focus would be the all-rounder in going to basically any environment to scan.
That is pretty cool. And the Blink, yeah, that's the Blink is pretty cool. It's funny that the Pro 3 came out first, and as you can see the design there, I just don't know where they got the idea for the Blink from. So I just find that bizarre. Anyway, so going on to the Pro 2, this was the first one that came out with Matterport slash Bumblebee. As you can see, the Pro 2 might look a little bit more robust and got some funky eyes there, whereas the Pro 3 just has the one. The Pro 2 predominantly it uses infrared instead of LiDAR like the other scanners. With the infrared, it still picks up beautiful imagery on the inside of any building, but because of the infrared, it doesn't do so well in the sunlight. So somebody actually once called it a vampire because it doesn't like sunlight. So I was like, okay, I suppose you can do that. So yeah, so it was kind of funny because they're like, oh, the Pro 2 is a vampire and the Pro 3 is a hybrid. So I was like, well, hey man, gets the job done. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Like I said, it does a great job of anything inside, but not to say that it can't scan outdoors. If you want to do scanning in the afternoon or evening, it's perfect for that on a nice cloudy day. So I'm going to reference Twilight here. Please excuse me. So if you lived in Forks where Twilight was filmed or whatever, that's where the Pro 2 would be perfect because it's like cloudy and boring all the time. But yeah, and then we have the Pro 3, which is, Bumblebee's, show and tell because Faro just looks at us like whatever. Um, he is the indoors, outdoors, and yeah, your all-rounder. So there we have our fleet.
The Pro 3's design looks quite sleek.
It does.
Yeah,
it
and
does.
as well with Bumblebee's.
Yeah, thank you. Well. Yeah, we won't make any Star Wars references, but let's stick with Bumblebee. Yes.
All right, so let's start with our real comparison between the two. So first up that we have is our primary sensing You
Hmm.
wanna?
Yeah, let me jump in there. Yeah, so as you can see, first of all, with the Pro 2, because it uses infrared, the depth isn't as fantastic, but once again, the visual is. The Pro 3, being also using LiDAR like the rest of the Faros, it does really help with the what's the word I'm looking for? It's like, the accuracy. Sorry. Yes. Thank you. Accuracy and data that it captures, because of the LiDAR being a lot more intense than the infrared, it's good to go. And it can also, that's where it decides to like play in a little bit of,
Faro space.
yeah, just a tad.
Yeah. Good.
Mhm.
All right. So on Faro's side, we do have laser scan also, so there's blue shift laser. And with that, we get the accuracy of the distance. How that would work is the laser would reach the first surface that it sees and then returns the value on how long it took. And then that calculation will be made to get you the correct XYZ value of that space. But I also want to mention that with the LiDAR that we have in these scanners, they are all eye safe. So you won't be affected, your eyes especially won't be affected with any of the lasers that's from the scan itself while this is scanning.
Well, that's good to know. For in case, like, I don't know, a rocket ship decides to, blind you or something.
Right.
He's not impressed. So I'm just going to jump to indoors. Once again, Pro 2 is perfect for that because of the infrared. Pro 3, fantastic indoors once again. And as you can see, so is the blink and the focus. So I think we're on a pretty much tie there.
Yeah.
We'll go into some more detail with a couple of other things. Visual tour experience, once again, excellent, excellent. Pro 2, Pro 3, phenomenal. I'll hand
Yeah.
it over to you.
On the Faro side, like I mentioned earlier, we can do the virtual reality walkthroughs with point cloud itself. The photographs are, you have to open them up individually to be able to see them, where on
Mm,
Matterport side, you are constantly moving between the photographs
mm.
for every scan location that was done. But for sure, we can definitely also create fly-through videos within the Faro Scene application.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so if you have a licensed version of Faro Scene, you can create videos from your point cloud information by setting up viewpoints, and that will be basically where the camera is going to move to create the videos. Great for marketing material as well. If you don't have Matterport to use for the marketing.
Well, this is where I'm just going to jump in there and say that once you've done a scan, Matterport software actually automatically generates two MP3s as well as MP4s, as well as generates a whole lot of photos of what it thinks looks really nice. Generates them for you. So you just have to like download it. So you don't even have to get a photographer on site because you've got the walkthrough, you've got the MP3s, MP4s, the GIF, as well as a whole lot of photos. And you can also set it to do automatic tours, like
That's
yours
pretty
does.
impressive.
But it's kind of nice being independent and being able to click where you want to go and
Yeah.
still see everything quite nice.
On Faro's side is everything is basically you are in control of what you need to deliver at the end of the day. If I'm understanding correctly on Matterport's side, can you do your own virtual tour setup? Or is it
Um,
automatically generated?
you can. There is a little bit, I'm not going to lie. If you want something that you want to play and repeat, you do have to do a little bit of HTMLing to do that, but it can be done.
Awesome.
So yeah, we would give training on how things can be done. It can be done,
Good.
but not as I'm going to hand it to Faro. Okay, fine. You guys do a better, quicker job. Yeah.
Right. Good. Management confidence.
Wow. Really? You want to go there?
Yeah.
Dude, it's a Friday and personal and people haven't drank enough for this. Okay, basic spatial use. The Pro 3 uses infrared once again, so its range isn't as fantastic. I don't know, I'm throwing into long range capture there, poor, but they kind of meet the same in a way with the Pro 3 for general documentation, and it is also moderate, but it still gets the job done. It can pick up everything, like I said, up to 12 meters very nicely, up, down, left, right. It is there, and I know this is where Optimus Prime and his rockets and everything else wants to jump in and say, "Ooh, look at me."
Yeah. Okay. So, ooh, good one. So from Ultimate side, the Faro Focus and even the Blink, we can do professional documentation with it because of our accuracy from the point cloud information. So your models built from it will just be as accurate. Um, and the measurements done, we do have some a measurement tool within the Faro Scene application that can do horizontal and vertical measurements as well. So that really assists with getting your measurements done more accurately, even if you do place your measurements at odd locations.
Mm.
So that does definitely assist with the measurement side. When it comes to the long range capture, I did mention the Blink does only up to 18 meters in the previous few slides. But we all know that the Focus has got three different range models on that one, 100 to 200 and 400 meters.
That's pretty awesome. And I just wanted, Faro Prime to finish his measurement confidence before I jumped in and said, with Matterport, though, once the scanning is done, there is a really nifty tool within the tool set, and which also shows at the bottom of the scan, where you can click measurement and everything that you've scanned a measurement of the scene is actually fully generated. So you can actually see the square meterage of everything that you've generated. Plus, there's a very cool new tool that's come out called a property report, where that will literally give you the square meterage of every single room that you've scanned, plus a CSV report saying, this was the kitchen, this is the living room, the dining room. So it makes life a lot easier if you just need a very basic, quick layout of a property. You've got the measurements and you've got the written side of things. So for the people who are visual, you've got it there, and the analytical guys, you've got the CSV file. And I kind of feel like Optimus Prime is very analytical. And yeah, Bumblebee is a lot more visual in that sense. So yeah, best of both worlds.
Best of both. There's an application for each opportunity. Right?
Exactly.
So when it comes to on-site simplicity, is like we mentioned earlier, we got an application for on both sides. So we got the Matterport Capture app, and then we got the Faro Stream application. Both have got their pros, and they work exceptionally well within the on-site with scanners. For the stream application, I can say that has been optimized recently, and you can now easily handle 1,000 plus scans within a single project with Stream, where previously it was struggling a little bit when it came to about 50 to 100 scans. Started to slow down a little bit, but that has been significantly improved. So if you do own a premium scanner, then want to utilize the Stream application to the fullest, please get in contact with that part. But then I don't know if you want to add anything on the application.
We're pretty good there. It's very easy to use and not as in-depth. Like I say, there's the measurement tools, everything can be done, but not as in-depth as the Faro.
Right. So on the registration control and the survey control, we're going to combine those two together. And I'm going to talk first on the Faro side, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
So on the registration of scans, we're using the Stream application. Everything is basically pre-registered for you. So you can just verify your registration and then complete it at the end, just after that. So saving a lot of hours in the office. Same would be both for all of the Faro scanners, which is the Stream application. But then there are also other registration controls that we have. So we got a visual registration and now the interactive registration. So we can refine our connections and get an even better quality point cloud at the end of the day with a higher precision in that space. When it comes to survey control, we can actually also survey the point clouds. So using checkerboard markers with the surveyor on site, we can then scan those checkerboard markers, which the surveyor has also surveyed, and then allocate the XYZ values to those targets, and then it will coordinate your point cloud to real world coordinates. So then if you want to bring that into which would be our next line, your Revit model, you can actually create a geo-referenced Revit model out of that as well.
Well, now that Optimus Prime is done bragging. As we know, Bumblebee, he is really good at a lot of things, but that's kind of one of the areas where he's not so fantastic. However, once the scanning is done, it very simply can be uploaded and there is no need for manual registration. So that's, I think, one of the pros with it. But like we said, it's really not its core focus also to do surveying. Once again, because he likes being in the streets. He likes getting a little bit dirty, but not as grubby and dirty and in like one of your environments. Because I mean, he has to shine.
Mhm.
Um, on the other end of things, where it comes to the registration control, um, with Matterport or with any scanner as well, and Peter has also mentioned it, where you have certain targets that you put out so that everything collaborates quite nicely. With Matterport, we have I mean, it's like super simple, QR code targets.
Yeah.
Yeah, which can be used, especially if you're going through a stairwell or anything that has repetitive imagery. If you put the QR codes out in various areas, the camera picks up that these are different QR codes. I'm moving forward. It's not the exact same thing. So that way, when it does do its automatic registration, a lot easier, it knows where to go and it picks up the QR codes and doesn't get confused with everything looking the same.
So it's basically helping with tracking. Tracking
100%.
within
Yes.
space.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Optimus Prime, for helping Bumblebee with his wording.
No, it's a pleasure. And shouldn't have done that yet. So client accessibility, I think this is also quite
Mm,
an important one to just discuss.
very much so. So so here's the thing. Um, if you have internet, you can view any and every Matterport scan under the sun that you want. If you do not have internet, you kind of can't view the physical scan. Reason being is because all Matterport scans are held on Matterport's server. What I can tell you is that the server is super, super, super secure because we've had very, very large clients that have very, very private work. And Matterport, we've signed documents that not even Optimus Prime could deal with to make sure that the information is secure. So the main thing is, as long as you've got internet, you can view the walkthrough and all the other info, but the rest of it is downloadable. So once you've got your E57, your matter packs, whatever else you need, that info is yours forever and a day.
Right, so you can download the information at least and keep it saved
Correct.
somewhere and you
Correct.
have the data for life.
100%.
Right. On the Faro side, we do have a couple of ways that we share data with clients. One of the best ways to do it is through 3XG. It will just be a link, and anyone, it doesn't matter if you have software, don't have the software, if you have got a strong computer or not, it will work because it's web-based. So you just need to add an internet connection for that part as well. But we do have other ways of exporting and sharing information with the clients. We usually do bigger projects on like Forma, where we publish our point counts to Forma, and then clients can download it if they don't have a docs license. If they do, then they can simply view it online and walk through the point count online as well. We can also just keep it local. If your project is very sensitive and you don't want any possibility of it being shared online by a link or something like that, or anyone can hack into a certain platform, then you can also keep the data offline. You can keep it on a hard drive, on your vault, on your server, just wherever you feel like it's best to keep that. There are multiple options.
That's pretty cool, actually. I just want to sneak one little thing in very quickly. Um, Matterport, aka Bumblebee. Also, I mean, every car has like its secret things, There's like a cubby hole or something. This is where Matterport, if depending on the subscription package that you take, there is an API and SDK service, as well as a few other little hidden things where if you really, really need to keep it super private, you can for specific clients. So it can be done.
So it's like a vault.
Basically, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
T's and C's apply, obviously, just to put it out there as always, but it can be done if you need high, high, high security, you know?
and
Yeah,
stuff.
cool.
So moving over to best use,
Yeah,
I'm
I think we'll
actually going to
just,
go to the next
yeah,
slide
let's
for
do
this
that.
one.
Let's do that because,
So we got different needs, different users, different scanners.
hmm.
So which one is going to fit best in which category?
Yeah, so if we start off with property marketing, once again, I mean, it's kind of a given. This is where Matterport shines. It has the beautiful visuals, indoor, outdoors, navigation, and even for facilities management, it can also be used, but I'm going ahead. But just for any marketing, and property or anything that needs to be visually seen, Matterport is your go-to.
So when it comes to construction progress, Matterport can also work in this
It
category.
can, it can.
It can. When we're looking at speed, repeatability, and sharing, so with the construction progressing, we can scan once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, and then that information can then be overlaid and published for comparisons, right?
Which is pretty cool.
So the Matterport site would be great on the visualization part of that,
Yes.
just to see what has been done
Yeah.
and so forth, where the Faro side would be more of we can do analysis on that as well to see how flat is the floor that was poured, right?
Yeah. And that's kind of where the commander comes in because he has a lot more uh oomph and experience and very detail orientated. And I would say, yeah, he's like a yeah, he really is the big guy up there. When I think about it, he kind of can do a hell of a lot more than.
And it's not to get the accuracy in that as well.
Yeah, we moved on from that.
Yeah,
We've moved on from that.
column placements and such is also very important, right?
No, it's true. It's true. It's true. Yeah.
So when it comes to facilities management, again, it can be both.
Yes.
Both sides. So it just depends on what your specific needs are
100%.
when capturing this information. So from Faro's side, it would be the Faro Blink. That would be great because we've got quick scans. We don't really always need that accuracy to capture all the facilities. And maybe you can speak a bit more on that.
Yes.
One.
Yeah, so 100% there, you can actually get all the accuracy that you require, but once again, not as highly detailed. How can I say? I think yeah, for for what's the word I'm looking for? Jump in there.
No.
Uh,
Which one?
Yeah, there were a thousand things going through my mind there. Um, for facilities management, you can get so much. You can. Oh yes, there we go. Sorry, Bumblebee kind of like took a turn. Yeah. For asset management, fantastic. Really, really fantastic. In the sense that it picks up everything. You can tag it. You can color code the different assets so that when you do pull your CSV registrations and all of that, you can actually see exactly how many fire extinguishers you have, how many different light fittings, and all of that. And what's also really cool, one of my favorite parts about it is the tag and the note tag, where you can put in the information of where you bought it, who last serviced it. You can take photos of what it looks like now, or what it looks like in a year's time, who to contact. Should it need to be replaced? You can put so much info in that, for example, should your facilities manager be on holiday somewhere or like have a flat tire and he can't make it, it's as easy as anybody going into that link, onto that, clicking onto that tag and being like, cool, oh, this is what we need, good to go.
Then you can also add PDF documents.
Yes,
and,
well, 100%, yeah.
YouTube video links if needed as well.
This tells me that Optimus Prime has actually been looking at what
that you didn't to know what others are doing.
okay, good comeback, good comeback.
All right, so from scan to bin, when we look at the geometry registration and exports, when we look at more on the side of engineering or detailed scanning required for certain architectural elements, that's where the focus would be best to get that detail and to get that accuracy in. But it's not to say that the Matterport cannot do that.
No,
The Matterport
can.
for sure.
Yes, it definitely can. But once again, this is definitely where, yeah, Faro
The
really
scope of the project will determine
100%. Yes, yes, yes.
the accuracy required.
Yeah, you can do a fair amount of modeling. We have had a lot of clients that actually do modeling from the Pro 2s and the Pro 3s that they've used for just normal agricultural. Yeah, we took a countryside. It's Friday. Bumblebee needs a holiday. For architectural scanning, yes, basic architecture, fantastic with Matterport, and very easy to use, and it's quick
Yeah,
as well.
very quick.
Yeah,
But now when it comes to industrial retrofitting,
yeah,
this is, I would say, where the Faro was being used the
absolutely.
most.
Yeah, no, I will park
Yeah,
outside. We'll leave you to do that.
definitely, just because of the scale of what we can scan with the focus and all the details that we can get. It's also great for just scanning to get your new designs brought into that space to see where it will fit and how it will clash with whatever is existing. Yeah, so quite a lot of information and density that we can get into that space, and then of course difficult surfaces. I mean, reflective surfaces,
Yeah.
anything that's shiny also adds up to the accuracy of the scanners at the end of the day.
And like you were saying, that you can actually measure the depth of the cement or flooring. What was it that you were saying earlier?
Yeah, when we capture both sides, we can get the thickness of it.
Okay.
So
Yeah. It's pretty
capturing
cool though.
internal, external, same with the Matterport as well.
Yeah.
Internal, external of the building, you can get the thickness of the walls, and the sizes of the members and so forth on the side as well.
Yeah. Yours is just a lot more, once again, detailed.
Yeah. So heritage documentation, this I would say Matterport was shown quite a lot.
Yeah.
With the visual representation of it.
100%. Yeah, we have actually had quite a few clients who there are, I can't really mention any names, but they've done some amazing scans of some beautiful heritage sites in South Africa, museums as well. And also, I'm saying heritage, but they've done some new beautiful restaurants that have been renovated in an old heritage site. So they've done that. So from the outside, it looks like, 1875. Then you walk inside and it's very new and modern and all of that. So in that sense, I love the fact that you can go from the inside, touring this. Oh, wow, this looks amazing. You go inside and you're like, oh, okay, sure. Okay, where's my virtual waiter sort of thing. So it's pretty cool in that sense.
Oh, you can use that to virtually book your table, right?
You can actually, you can. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and also this is also one of the cool features of Bumblebee being modern. Click a button, boom, menu comes up, and you can make a phone call. All of that info will actually be on the scan itself.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so you can actually do it from the scan.
You just need to get online ordering on that as well.
Correct, but Bumblebee can. People also must be lazy. They need to walk.
All right, so then just quickly touching on the forensic side. So this is where Faro also shines in the UK and the USA. They've been using the Faro Focus and the Faro Blink scanner quite extensively within the forensics departments, especially with crime scenes and accident scenes. We are trying to get into that within South Africa, but yeah, it's proven a little bit more difficult than we thought to get the government to play along on that part. But just to tie this off, all three all two scanners for
two main. Yes, yeah.
They are great both within the management side of the business and also for remote stakeholders who cannot visit the sites, and then for facility teams to just get that visual documentation of all the assets. But when it comes to the engineers, I would say Faro is definitely taking the top.
100%, yeah.
Based on the density and accuracy as well.
Yeah.
Not sure if you want to add anything.
No, I think you've shared everything there, and I agree 100%, and especially with the detailed technical information. I'm going to give Optimus Prime Faro his due. I mean, the guy is a legend. He's your first call of what you need. But there's always,
There's room for Matterport.
There's room for Matterport, yeah. And also, just before we finish this off, if you are driving on the highway and you happen to go to Mpumalanga, on the right-hand side, I forget the name of the construction site of you know which one I'm talking about. There's a big statue
Oh, it's not
of,
there anymore.
oh,
It's
okay,
not there
sorry.
anymore.
Oh, well, I haven't been on that road in a long time. Sorry, there was a really cool statue of Bumblebee there. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay, now I'm sad. Sorry.
Unfortunately, that's
Thanks
been.
for spoiling that.
All right, so the final verdict between Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, so who wins the battle? So Faro Optimus on the technical precision, detailed scanning, and engineering data is where the Faro focus shines.
Yep. And then, of course, Bumblebee Matterport, he's accessible, does awesome immersive digital twins, and his collaboration is nice and smooth as well.
Yeah, so the real winner at the end of the day is not actually the scanners, it is the customer because we do want to get you the data that you require for your project and what is according to your scope and budget. So it can be either the Matterport, depends on what you need, or it can be the Faro Focus scanner. So there are options at the end of the day. But you'll also see on the screen currently there is a poll, Bumblebee versus Optimus Prime. And if you can just please choose one of those scanners that you see will fit your needs the best.
Yeah. Yeah, you can choose both if you really want to go like all into more.
A single choice option.
I know, but use a different email. Tell your colleague next to you, you click that, I'll click that.
Yes, both books.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I actually see with that we have some questions that are coming through. Cool. Sorry, yeah, we jumped to the Q&A too quickly. Yeah, the questions started flowing in pretty fast.
Let me just have a look here and see where the question is in the chat.
Yeah. Okay, there was, okay, there we go. What is that question? Please? Oh no, a little bit higher, sorry.
No, that's just
There we go. Oh, hang on, technical. Wait. Uh, there we go. Sorry, we will be there in a second. Oh, thank you.
How do the spherical targets increase the accuracy? So the spherical targets has been designed by Faro to be at an accuracy of 0.1 millimeter, with the surface of it being perfectly reflective to what scanner would require at that accuracy. So it's not too dull and it's not too bright. So you don't get any noise deviation on that part. But that will definitely help to triangulate your scan positions much better, to get a better accuracy on that. So if you can imagine scanning in a warehouse space where there's IBR sheeting and there's see-through IBR sheeting as well. That kind of reflectiveness creates a bit of noise within the data itself. And using a cloud-to-cloud registration on that, the noise is kind of affecting the data then as well. Not by much, it's a few millimeters, actually like maybe less than 2 millimeters on that thing. But with the spherical targets, that is completely avoided within or ignored rather in the registration process. So the targets itself will have the accuracy required to bring that accuracy down as much as possible.
That's very cool. Okay, then we see Daniel, you have a question. Is Matterport what real estate agents use for showing 3D house representations? And are these more suited to internal and external scans? So to answer your question, yes, 100% for real estate agents. We actually have, well, I won't name any names, but I do know of quite a few agencies that strongly believe in it. Those that do have them have done exceptionally well, and I'm talking internationally as well, because we do also assist with Matterport throughout the whole of Africa. And I do know some of our international countries, our partners, do have Matterports, and they are doing exceptionally well within real estate. And yes, you can scan internally and externally. So if you have a house with a beautiful garden, definitely start from the front, scan the garden, and then a nice relaxed walkthrough into the home, and then scan from there, and you can go all the way outside as well. Sorry to interrupt. What you can also do is if the property is quite large, You can do 2 or 3 separate scans of the property, and then you can also merge them all together, which is another cool feature that Matterport has come out with. So you don't feel like you're just scanning and scanning continuously.
I just want to add to your question, whether they are suited for internal and external. The Pro 3, yes.
Mm.
Internal, external, guaranteed, that's
Mm.
fine. But the Pro 2, only internal.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you for that. Yeah.
no problem.
Uh,
Then another question for you.
cool.
What is the cost comparison? I went too far.
Sure.
How long does it take to process an E57 or Matterport?
Cool. So depending on the size of the project that you've scanned, it can be anywhere between 2 hours to 6 hours. Well, I say 2 hours, 2 hours if you've done a very small ground floor area of maybe 50 or 70 square meters. If you're then going to something that's 500, 700, or 1,000 squares, it's a few hours, but yeah, definitely within a few hours, no longer than 12 hours that I can tell you. What we generally do is once the scan is accessible and we do purchase one of them, in that morning we click purchase to whichever one, and by lunchtime or that afternoon, you're good to go.
Yeah, or you can leave it overnight.
Yeah, or leave it overnight, whichever
Yeah,
one. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. That's actually, see, prime is thinking.
That one's the leader.
There we go.
So, that's the difference between LiDAR and laser scanning. So that is just terminology. I think there can be a bit of confusion sometimes about what the differences are, but LiDAR and laser scanning are basically the same thing.
Yeah.
There are different types of LiDAR. So you get underwater type LiDAR scanning, which is a much stronger LiDAR that is not very safe, because it's scanning through the water to get the surfaces. Where on the focus side, because the LiDAR scanner is eye safe, the water actually absorbs the laser. Right. So yeah, it's just it's the same of that. So next question: What is the cost comparison between Faro and Matterport?
Prime, go first, please.
So there is a bit of a cost difference between Matterport and Faro, and it is quite substantial.
Yeah, that's right. Faro first.
But with Faro, you do a once-off purchase, and then you don't have to pay, for example, for E57 exports and other exports that you can do freely from the software that you have purchased.
This is where the battle part comes in.
But it is a yearly license that you have purchased for the software. So every year that needs to be renewed, but the scanner is the once-off purchase. We can, of course, send you more information if you send us an email, and we can give you some actual cost pricing differences between them. And then, yeah, so on that part, Faro, like I said, once off purchase, you don't have to do any paying for any exports or anything like that. You can also do your video creation within the Faro Scene software without additional costs on that.
That's actually pretty
or
cool.
the marketing material.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about
Yes.
what you need to pay for Matterport.
It's like, fine. So with Matterport, so we have the two, obviously the Pro 3 and the Pro 2. The Matterport Pro 3, which comes with the full set. So it's not like you purchasing a vehicle that you just purchase the shell and, oh, I need to pay extra for the radio and the tires, and I won't mention brands because I'll be shot. Probably shouldn't say that either. Apologies. So yes, you can get the whole performance kit with the camera, the tripod, the dolly, hard case, backpack, door stoppers, charger kits, all of that. That is currently, and I'm going to say the price, 138,000 ex VAT, which is pretty reasonable considering that certain cameras in themselves can be within the hundreds of thousands of rands. And then the Pro 2, which currently will have the Pro 2 with the tripod and the free backpack, you're looking at 55,000 ex VAT. The reason between the financial difference is because of the Pro 2 using infrared. Its capability isn't as strong with the accuracy, but I'm definitely not giving it any shortcomings in that sense. With that though, and this is where he's like, "Ooh, tell them the price, tell them the price." The subscription every Matterport purchase comes along with a subscription. The first subscription would be the professional, which is $69 a month for 200 spaces. $69 a month is literally only 1,200 Rand a month, but for 20 spaces, that's 20 projects that you can have within that per month for 1,200 Rand a month. And that's to keep it ongoing. That also keeps your oh, sorry, thank you, your spaces and your tours completely active at all times. You can also, with that, if you do more, I'm just adding one here, if you decide to do more scans than just 20, and if any of your previous scans that you've done are no longer required to be on display, you can archive them and simply move another scan into that. So you can swap and change as much as you want, but that's concerned.
So with the pricing on the Faro side, I am gonna say I would rather send you an email directly with the pricing on that. Because on top of my head, I'm really not gonna say because I'm probably gonna say it wrong. I don't have the pricing in front of me at the moment, so apologies for that. But yeah, we can definitely we do have our email addresses, everything on. I'll just quickly put it on screen.
Yeah, there we
So
go.
there's our email addresses. You can just send us an email to request for the pricing on that. So we got another question here is who owns the point clouds? That is a very important question, I would say as well, because on Faro's side, the point cloud is yours. What you have scanned, what you have processed, what you have registered, what you have delivered is your data. It is locally hosted, so even with it being on SteerXG, you can still download that information and keep everything offline. And it's also keeping offline in the sense of we can add in more data to that specific project later on. So we can scan the site now, and then in months' time, we can scan the site again or scan the additionals to that site, and then we can import that into the existing point cloud and then create the digital site from there on.
On the Bumblebee Matterport side, it would be once you've downloaded the Matterpack or the E57, that point cloud data actually belongs to you in itself. But all the other data is still hosted on Matterport's server at the end of the day.
Yeah. Perfect.
Cool. Let's see.
We have some questions for later. What is the ballpark costs of the Faro Blink and Focus scanners compared with the Matterport Pro 2 and 3? Also, what are the costs associated with cloud processing of the captured data, for example? Could you provide an indication of the cost for scanning and processing a 100-meter section of a typical single carriageway road and another representative real-world example? We can definitely do that, and we can definitely share that information with you and also share with you representative real-world examples of that. Again, if I can ask that we can connect afterwards. If everyone else is also interested in getting this information, you are welcome to also send us an email on that part, and then we can share and also have a Teams meeting and just go through the processes with you and yeah, share that information.
Oh, let's see. Just wanted to. There we go. Okay. I just wanted to know.
You must have question there. Scan and Matterport is used for facilities management, asset management, and other industries.
The answer would be yes, 100% it can be. Once again, as mentioned, for facilities management and asset management, the two of them work very well hand in hand, where you can then, once your property is scanned, or the building is scanned, you can add tags to your specific assets. And from there, you can download them or, how can I say, what's the word? You can not specialize, prioritize them into the features that you want. So you can definitely mold it into the format that you prefer working with. But once you have that information, it's as simple as one of your colleagues or somebody just sitting down, adding the tags, putting the info together, boom, you're good to go.
Great stuff. Then next question, hi gents, loving the webinar. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Just wanted to know, are the processes automated from scanning to deliverables? I think I'll go first in this one.
Be welcome to.
Right.
Yeah.
So on the Faro side, it is kind of automated in the sense that we have automatic registration. We also have the stream application on site getting us the specific locations of the scans. But this is not at that point yet where everything is automated. We still have a lot of human intervention into these processes, but that is because we are taking control over everything at this point. We can control how the scans are placed. We can control the well, I won't say the accuracy, but in a sense we can kind of control the accuracy due to the interactive registration, where you can increase the accuracy on between scan locations, but that is also a bit limited. But the automated process, I foresee it coming in the next few years for Faro, but at this point in time, unfortunately not.
Yeah. And also, I would say similarly with Bumblebee slash Matterport, it is not a plug and play as yet. It's still very much like, you can get into the car, you can start the car, but at the end of the day, we're not that far like other countries where take me home, we're not there yet. This one, you still have to actually change the gears or put the car into drive and do it yourself. But there is quite a bit that each of the cameras, each of the scanners software does do. So in the sense where the automated side is once the scans are done with the Matterport, it's easy to upload them. The automated side is the registration, nice and quick. You have it within a few hours or the next day. And from there, you can do the tours. And like Peter was saying earlier, it's more the manual registration.
But you also have your floor plans that's generated.
Yes. Those are, yes, yeah. So there is in that sense, definitely. There is one specific called a schematic floor plan, which gives you a nice 2D representation. It's a DWG that you can just download. So in that sense, you have that. It is automated, but it's also, it's there. But if you want super high accuracy, there we go. For architectural purposes, good to go as always.
Okay, thanks.
A skill level.
So what skill level is needed for either? Right. So I would say you don't need to have any experience when walking in, learning how to use the scanner. So anyone who is just willing to learn about how it works can easily pick up the processes and the ease of use of the application with the scanner itself. So with applications, it is quite user friendly, and it also helps you to see what you are scanning, so that you don't have to guess what it is that you have scanned, right? So operating the scanners itself also super easy to do. Faro's seen, I would say, just a bit of experience in that sense. So training is a day's worth of training. It is not a lot, and then it's just going to be practicing with the software itself. On Matterport side, although
yeah,
I think that's a bit easier.
Matterport is, and this is once again where the ease, accessibility, and all of that is a lot easier. So because, Bumblebee, he's relaxed, easy, smooth, good to go, not as intense as somebody else. But I was like, ooh, sorry about that. I'm gonna get it afterwards. So let me just quickly jump in here. It's as easy as we do give half a day's training with it because it's very, very easy. It's as simple as connecting your camera to an iPad or iPhone. The two of them speak with each other. On the screen, it'll also show starting new job. And once that's done, it'll also show you on the screen if you have missed any places, like you mentioned earlier, and you just go to that specific area, scan, and boom, you're done. It's that easy to use. And there's a back end feature, which is obviously the software, where we also train you how to do that. Also very, very easy to use. And like I say, all of that can be done within half a day.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick. Next question is, where can one buy the scanners?
Daniel, you are welcome to, I will also contact you after this, but you're welcome to pop me an email to nick@modena-aec.co.za, and you can purchase them from us here at Modena. because we are the African reseller and partner of Matterport.
Yeah.
So you're welcome to contact us.
So we are the official distributors in South Africa for both the scanners that we
Yes.
spoke about today. So for both
Yeah.
Matterport and for Faro.
Yeah.
So how does Matterport and Faro deal with reflections and noise?
I'm going to keep it short and sweet on my side, and you can go more detailed. Um, Noise, in that sense, Matterport, it does sort of, it's not ideal. I have been in places where it's a construction site and I'm scanning, and if there's too much dust or anything like that in the air, it really does unfortunately clash with the scanning. It literally just comes out as green and murky. So I would say that dust, what's the word I'm looking for? Composition, if I can put it like that, really needs to be minimal, and then you can still scan. But if you're talking about like a proper dust storm or even just general dust from grinding and whatnot, it doesn't bode so well, unfortunately. Reflections with mirrors and windows, there is a feature within the app which, before you upload it, you can select where the mirrors and the windows are. That just helps when the processing is done so that there's not too much, what's the words I'm looking for, reflection or splattering of the scans that were taken.
Yeah, so from Faro's side, how we deal with that is we can just scan it and then we remove the data and the point cloud after the fact. So there's not yet an automated process for that within the Faro Scene software or CXG, but hopefully that will come in the close future because AI is evolving.
Yeah.
And as AI is evolving, the software will evolve with it.
What can help me see what's behind walls? Um,
So behind the wall, we can scan that side, but if
but
it's internal of the wall, there is something called ground penetrating radar scanners.
those are very cool,
Yeah,
actually.
so they
Yeah.
use that to detect piping,
Mm.
reinforced steel and so forth in concrete and in walls and such.
Mm.
So that is something that you can look at if you need to scan something inside a wall.
Mm. What are the prices and are they available for rental? So the pricing, I'm just quickly going to cover Matterport's pricing and rental. So you're looking at the Pro 3, once again, with the full kit, full house, 138,000. That's ex-VAT. Pro 2 with the tripod and the free bag, you're also looking at 58,000, rounded up to 60,000 ex-VAT. And we do have rental options as well. You are able to rent a Pro 2 for 2,500 Rand a day from us. Then
Right, so
yeah, you guys have an array of things that you can rent out, and that's pretty awesome, actually. That's really cool.
We do have a couple of scanners in the fleet that we have for rentals. We do have the Faro Focus S series scanners and one X very old scanner. That one, still a workhorse. It still works great. It still gets you the data that you require. So the rental pricing is 6,500 Rand per day. There's a discount scale if you take it for a longer period of time. And then we also just include insurance on that because sometimes accidents happen and then we need to claim some insurance.
Yes.
So 6,500 Rand a day for the scanner, and then the rental, the insurance scales from 1,500 Rand to a maximum of 4,200 Rand for the period of the rental. Right. So
good question, Mike.
What SLAM options exist in the current Faro lineup, and what is the accurate comparison between static and mobile platforms? Great question. So we do have the Faro Orbis Premium. That's the latest SLAM scanner from Faro, and that one, I'm not going to say the price because I might be wrong. So we will definitely send you the pricing on that on an email if you send us one. But the accuracy on that scanner, because it's a mobile handheld scanner, GeoSLAM scanner, you're looking at about 5 to 10 millimeters in accuracy. It also provides you with 672,000 points per second. So the quicker you walk, the more sparse the points will get. The slower you walk, the more dense the point cloud will be at the end of the day. We can also do flash scanning with the Orbit scanner, which gives you a 2 mm accuracy on that specific flash scan for measurements and such. And then it also provides you with a photograph every 1 second as you are walking.
That's very cool. Next one, do you provide practical, there we go. Do you provide practical demonstration sessions of how to use these nice technologies for students and professionals outside of your organization? Yes, we do. Feel free to contact any of us at the email addresses there. But Millicent, we will also pop you an email and be in contact with you, and we can always arrange something.
Yeah, we definitely do all of that for students and professionals. I've actually given training at university once.
Yes,
on the scanners. So we also provide the training on all of these scanners and platforms that we are talking about today.
Absolutely.
Right.
So who does the scan data belong to?
Again, on Faro's side, the scan data is yours. It's all locally processed, locally done, so it doesn't have to go into any platform to be done for you. In a sense, like Matterport is done all online on their service, on their platforms. So I don't know if you want to elaborate a bit more on that, Bob.
Yeah, no, so pretty much the scan itself, in order to have access to it, the scan belongs to Matterport. Once again, it's on the Matterport server. Even though it is in your name, you can access it at any given time if the scan is still live. But also, as I mentioned slightly earlier, the API and SDK settings, and there's also another feature that you can super privatize it. So it does belong to you, but at the end of the day, all the scan data does fall under Matterport server. So I don't want to say that it doesn't belong to you, but it's kind of like let's say you share it with Matterport, if I can be quite blunt with that.
Yeah, but once downloaded.
Yeah, once you've downloaded the E57, the Matter Pack, that's yours. You download the schematic floor plan, it's yours. The property report is yours. Any and everything else, the GIFs, the MP3s, the photos, all of that belongs to you. Anything you download, 100% yours.
Yes, perfect. Then the last question we have here is, does the Stream Matterpack E57 software only work with Faro and Matterport scanners? And can it work with different scanner types? So on the Faro side, the Stream application was made for the Faro scanners. So that is for the Focus, the Blink, and the Orbit scanner. But the software itself, like Faro Scene software, can import multiple other file formats from other scanners. So there is a list of file formats that I can share with when you import, and there's also a big list of file formats that you can export from the software. So the application on the phone itself is dedicated to the scanner, but the software on Faro's side, the software can handle multiple other scanner formats as well. Yeah. Even on the Recap side. Yeah. Recap can also handle other scanner types except for just Faro.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say very similarly to Faro with Matterport, although Matterport only produces, like say, the Matterpack and the E57, that then can only really be used by Recap being its main, for lack of a better term, portal to go through to other applications. Thank you. Because I do know that quite a few of our clients use not just Autodesk software, but other software. So it definitely can, but by Recap, you can then pivot it into the other different applications. Yeah, that's.
I don't see any other questions at this point. I want to say thank you for everyone to join us in our webinar today, and we hope that you have a lovely weekend. And please get in touch with us if you have any questions, any inquiries, need some more information. Yeah, we're always here to help, and yeah, We'll be happy to hear from you.
Yeah, and thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time on a Friday morning, and we hope you enjoyed our very different theme. And we figured it would be the best way for you to remember if every time you watch Transformers, you're going to think of Modena and Faro and Matterport going forward. So, but thank you very much. Have a great weekend, and we will hopefully chat to you guys next week when you come and see us, and we can help you with more stuff.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Have a
everyone.
good weekend.